Welcome everyone, welcome. We are on live. Hey everyone, we are going live tonight to read the Ramayana. Let's see, I'm just trying to like it a little bit to get more viewers in here. My buddy Seraphim's going to join here in just a moment. He reads with us sometimes. I'm hoping to get my buddy Perish in here as well, because he helps me with Sanskrit pronunciation. He knows how to pronounce the words that I don't know yet. So we're going to sing a couple prayers, a couple devotional songs, and then we're going to be getting into the Ramayana, which is one of my favorite. Thank you so much for the likes, Jules. It's been a minute. How are you? How are you? Just to, get the vibe for the Ramayana in here. And also just to tune into that devotional, that aspect within our hearts that is prayer towards the divine. Super excited about that. Let's see. We sing that one often, so I'll tell you what. Yeah, let's do the full Hanuman prayer. Even though today's Wednesday. Yesterday was Hanuman's Day. Yesterday was Tuesday. Let's see. Hanuman prayer. I should type in prayer, not just Hanuman. Oh my goodness. Completely here. I'm just going to set this down for 5 seconds. Thank you so much for the likes. It helps get it out to more people. We will get started very shortly. There we go. Hanuman prayer. Prayer to Hanuman. Here we go. This is the one by Krishna Das. It's one of my favorite ones. He goes over it in Sanskrit, and because I don't know all the lyrics in Sanskrit to this prayer, even though I'm learning them, he goes over it in English as well, which is why I think it's really, really helpful.
When the temperature drops, you've got two choices. Close your eyes and...
Yeah. You guys can let me know if you can hear this well. What? It's slow. Let me turn it up. Should be great. Hey, Parish, how are you? Let's see.
I'm good, thank you.
Hey, man. I hope you're doing great. Yeah.
Yep.
So glad. So grateful to tune in with you guys. Been looking forward to this all day, really. Let's see.
Yeah, same with me.
It's one of my favorite parts of the day.
How's everyone's day been?
It's been great, man. It's been great. Just sitting in devotion. I got off work at 4. I went to try to ride. I have a little electric scooter that I try to ride around because I don't have a car anymore. I wrecked it a long time ago. Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. My buddy Finn just told me he hopped in the other day and thought that our reading of the Ramayana was beautiful. Let's see. We were going to sing the Hanuman prayer. This is the long one by Krishna Das, and it has the Sanskrit. And because I don't know all the Sanskrit for it, I'm learning it. I think it's Sanskrit. It may be like the Telugu or something, but I think it's Sanskrit. I'm learning it. I'm in the process of learning it, but he also goes over it in English. So it's very helpful to learn, to know what he's saying in the prayer. And so it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Can you guys hear the audio behind me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for joining. Om Shri Hanumate Namo. I bow to the son of the wind, a fire to burn the firest of the wicked, and rain a cloud of wisdom. Shri Ram, the holder of the bow, lives in your wide open heart. Hanuman Pavana Kumar Alavana Bhava Kagyanagam Jasu Hridayagara Vasi Rama Sadachapata. Let this go out. Thank you for the roses. Your body shines like a mountain of gold. It's the home of immeasurable power. You are the fire that burns the whole demon race, the wisest of the wise. Tulita baladamam emashela vadeham manujavam krishanam gyaninama graganyam. First among Vinars, all goodness finds a home in you. You are the most beloved of all Ram's devotees. Son of the wind, I bow to you. Sakala guna nidhanam Vanarana madesham Raghupati prayapatnam Vaktajanam namami. For this world, you are like Ram, and for the demons, you are fire. You are the great jewel in the garland of the Ramayana. Son of the wind, I bow to you. Ramayana Mahamalaratnam Bande Milamajam. Anjani's heroic son, the destroyer of Sita's suffering, lord of the monkeys, killer of demons, terrorizer of Lanka, I bow to you. Anjananandanam viradu Janaki Shokanashanam Ishtamakshamaharam Vande Lanka Haryam Bhavam. You jumped over the ocean so easily to put out the fire of Janaki's grief. Burner of Lanka, I bow to you. Ulam Jasindho Salilam Salilam Yesho Mani Janata Jaya Ataya Nireva Radhunka Mamitam Ranjalira Jadena. You've conquered your mind You move as fast as the wind. You've conquered the senses, and you overflow with wisdom and mercy. Son of the wind, you are Ram's messenger in this world. Lion among monkeys, Vanars, give me refuge. Manojavam Marutatuya Vegam. I know this part well. Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Atatmajam, son of Vayu, the wind god. Vanarayukta Mukyam Shri Ramadutha Sharanam Prapahe, servant of God, gives us our beneficial desires. Wherever Ram's name is sung, that's where you go and bow. Your eyes filled with tears of love. Son of the wind, destroyer of demons, I bow to you. I bow to you. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Vidamastakandali Ashpavari Aripurachanam Maruti Namat Rakshasam Takam. Hanuman's original name was Maruti. Bajrang Bali Hanuma Maharaja Ki Jai. Hanuman Ki Jai. His name was Maruti, and the story goes, yes, sir. And the story goes that he was so, oh wow, and it's perfectly put on the Chalisa, the same Chalisa we always play. That's perfect. The story goes that when he was so young, or when he was still he was just born. It's like right after he was born. He was so young that obviously he's probably around. He's like a demigod toddler or something, But he loves mangoes, and so he would reach up into all these trees and eat the mangoes because he's so hungry. When he was very hungry when he took birth. That's why Hanuman tells you to feed people who are hungry. That's one of his main things. And the funny part about the story is that he looked up at the sun, the bright sun, and he thought it was a bright mango. And so he jumped up because he didn't know his own power. He didn't know his own strength. He jumped up and tried to eat the sun. And it says the world was plunged into darkness because he tried to eat the sun. And then Indra, the lord of the gods, flung his vajra at Hanuman and hit him in the jaw. Some stories say that it sent a drop of blood into the ocean, which is actually an inspiration for a movie that I watched from Bollywood, which is pretty cool. It's called Hanuman. But the idea was that when he hit his jaw, in some forms of the myth it kills him, and in other forms it dislodges his jaw. I think in the one that it kills him, it also dislodges his jaw, and that's why Hanuman can mean disfigured jaw. But yeah, in the one where he's unalived, his father Vayu is grieving him, and he comes down, and because Vayu is the wind god, he sucks all the wind out of the whole world because of how angry he is that they killed his son. He's grieving, and he says that he won't return it until they give him back his life, until the gods grant him back his life. And so they do. But they say they give him it back on the condition that he will not remember who he is or his power until the time is right. And that time is when the Hanuman Chalisa is sung to him by the Bear King, and he remembers who he is, and he takes the leap off the mountain, the epic leap. I believe it's in the Sundarakanda, which we're not there yet. But he takes the great leap, and he jumps over the ocean and goes to Janaki, who is Sita, Ram's wife, and rescues her by handing her Ram's ring. That's the first sign. And she says, there are many people imprisoned in Lanka. I must wait for my Lord before I return with you. I must wait for my Lord to come and get me, because we must free all these other prisoners. And Lanka was a place of the demon king Ravana, and he had gold, gold houses, gold the whole city was made out of gold because he pillaged heaven, he pillaged the earth, he pillaged everybody. No god could kill him. He had boons from Brahma or Shiva, depending on the version of the story you read, where he had cut off every one of his heads except one. He had like 7 heads, and he cut off every one of his heads except one just to get this boon that he wouldn't be able to be killed by anyone except. There's a few things that he left out. I believe it was one was human and one was
Human and a monkey.
The Vanars. I think that the Vanars. I just think they were just a different type of human being. I think that this is such a primordial story that
No, I think they are monkey because in the Sundarkand, the
awesome.
Ravana
This is my favorite.
he tries to cut his tail. So I'm sure it's talking about monkey.
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
Are
he's definitely like a monkey-like man.
there's a lot of people who want to like they say
Yeah,
it's called a Vanar, and they say that there was probably a race of humans that were
That's what I
primitive, that
believe.
were somewhere in between monkeys and or
yeah,
even people
yeah.
who were
It's
larger
true.
than humans. They were called Vanars, but I
It's
don't
a
know.
theory.
That's a
Yeah.
reach, you know.
You know what? There's another Ramayana, Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas.
What is that? I couldn't hear you, my friend.
It's a Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas Ramayana, Tulsidas Ramayana.
Yeah, Tulsidas Ramayana. Yeah. So the Ramayana by
Yeah, that's
Tulsidas.
actually very famous.
Yeah, I think Tulsi
Yeah,
had
it's
a
very
version
famous
too.
and it's very popular.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
I haven't
very
read that
popular
one.
in India because it's a, it's in a pure Hindi form. So that's why it's because the Valmiki Ramayana is more Sanskrit, so it's very difficult to
Yeah,
read
to
for
read and
the
all that.
normal human being. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So
There was actually a version of
Tulsidas Ram,
yeah,
yeah,
the
Tulsidas
Tulsidas Ramayana.
Ramcharitmanas
They say there
Sundarkand.
was a version of the Ramayana written
Yeah,
by Hanuman that and Hanuman destroyed it because Valmiki, after he had wrote his
yeah.
version and
He
he
won.
read Hanuman's version,
Yeah,
was like so he was so disappointed because he said Hanuman's version was so beautiful, but Hanuman obviously he has no pride. He was very humble about the whole thing. He's like, well, if this hurts your pride, great poet, I'll destroy the whole thing, and he destroys it and goes and throws it in the
yeah,
ocean. So yeah, how
yeah,
how
yeah.
cool,
So
how
what I
cool.
was saying that the Sundarkand of Tulsidas, I memorized all of it. It's like
Oh,
1 hour and 30 minutes long, and
that
I
was
just
that was
memorized
Maharaji's
all
favorite
of it.
book. That's Maharaji's favorite book is the beautiful book, the
Yeah,
Sundarakanda. That's what
yeah,
it's called.
yeah.
It's the
It's
beautiful
actually
book.
very
Yeah.
yeah Sundarkand. Yeah, Sundarkand is very very popular among the Hanuman devotees.
Yes, sir. It's just full of devotion, man. It's like it'd make you cry. It's so
Yeah,
beautiful. Maharaji said the stories of Hanuman and Ram are so beautiful they chase away the birds of doubt. That's how he put it.
yeah.
See, so
It
this is
took me
the
almost 8 months, 8 to 9 months. Yeah, good.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jai Hanuman, Jai Shri Ram. This is the Hanuman Chalisa, guys. Don't worry if you don't
Jai
know the
Sri Ram.
lyrics. Jai Shri Ram. The vibrations are what's healing for it. The vibrations are what transmits the healing and the information and the devotion. So all you got to do is sit with it in love. It's a very beautiful, beautiful prayer. It's about 40 lines long, so it can be about 10 minutes, but you can get lost in it for real. And I fell in love with it, and I just had to learn it. So don't feel bad, but I hope it inspires you to go and learn it yourself if you feel like you fall in love with it as much as I have. Thank you so much, Jules. Let's see. Uh, Thank you for the gift. Let's see. I don't know how to. Oh, that's from you, Parish. Thank you for the gift, Parish. Ajaloji Hanuman. Ajaloji Hanuman. Ajaloji Hanuman. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukuru Sudhari Karanam Raghuvara Vimala Jasu Jodaya Kupalachari Purihina Tanjanake Sumeram Pavana Kumar Palapunya Devori Arakalesha Bhukan Gavara Ramachandra Padaje Sharanam Jai Hanuman Gyana Guna Saga Jai Kapishati Hanlokam Ramaduta Tuta Baladama Anjani Puja Bhavana Sutanama Mahavira Vikramatajangi Sumati Nwara Sumati Keti Sangi Ganjana Varna Viraja Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Atavajra Ode Vajaviraja Kandhe Munja Jajenu Saje Shankara Suvana Keshari Nanda Teja Pratapa Mahajagabanda Vidyawana Guniyati Chaturama Karibe Koatu Prabhu Charitra Suni Beko Rasiya Rama Lakana Sita Manabasiya Sukshma Rupa Darisiya Hindikawa Bikatar Rupa Darilanka Chara Bhima Rupa Dari Asura Sanhare Ramachandra Ke Kaja Shanvare Daya Sajivana Lakana Jiyaye Shri Raghuvira Rashiya Raghupati ki vi bahuta barai Tuma mama priya bharatai samabai Sahasabadana tumaro yasagawe Yasakahi Shri Pati Kanta lagawe Sanakadika Brahma Dimunita Narada Sharada Sahita Isa Yamakuvera Digapala Jahante Kaviko Veda Kahisake Kante Tuma Upakara Sugriva Hinkina Rama Milaya Raja Paradina. He faces Ram always. Tumro Mantra Vibhishana Mana Lankeshwara Bhaya Sabha Jagajana Yuga Sahasra Jodhyana Paravanu Lilyotahi Madhura Palajana Prabhu Mudrika Milimukha Mahin Jalade Lanke Gaya Charajanani Dugramakaja Jagata Kejete Sugramanugraha Tumare Tete Rama Duare Tumarakaware Kotana Gavinu Pesare Sabha Sukalahe Tumhare Sharanam Tumarakshaka Kahu Kodarana Apana Teja Samharo Apetinon Lokahangatin Kampe Puta Pisachane Katana Hirave Mahavira Javana Masunavi Nase Rogahare Sabapira Japata Nirantara Hanumatabira Sankataten Hanumana Churawe Manakrama Bachana Dhyana Jolave Sabapara Rama Tapasri Raja Tinake Kaja Sakala Tumasaja Ora Manortha Jokoilave Sohi Amita Jivana Palapava Charon Yuga Paratapa Tumhara He Parasiddha Jagata Ujiyara Sadhu Santa Ke Tumarakaware Asarane Kandana Rama Dulare Ashta Siddhi no Nidhi Ke Data Ashavara Dina Janaki Mata Rama Rasayana Tumare Pasa Sadharaho Raghupati Ke Dasa Tumare Bhajana Rama Ko Pawe Janama Janama Ke Dukkha Visarave Antakala Raghuvara Purajai Jahana Janma Hari Bhakta Kahai Ora Devata Chittana Darahi Hanumata Se Sarva Sukha Karahi Sankata Kate Mite Sababira Yosumire Hanumata Balabira Jaya 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 Hanumana Gosahin Kripa Karahu Guru Devakina Joshatavara Pattakara Kohi Jutahi Bandi Mahasukahohi Joya Hapare Hanumana Chalisa Hoya Siddhi Saki Gorisa Tulasi Dasa Sada Hari Jera Ki Jai Natha Heradaya Mahandera Avanatanaya Sankata Harana Mangala Murati Rusya Ram. Lord, make you home in my heart. Rama Lakana Sita Sahita Hiradayam Basahu Surabu Vasya Havare Rama Chandra Parije Sharana Mangala Murati Maruktanandan Sakala Mangala Mula Nikanda Mangala Murati Maruktanandan Sakala Mangala Mula Nikanda Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sitaram 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 Jai Jai Sitaram 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 Jai Jai Sitaram Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. There's Baba saying Namah Shivaya. Not the same Baba, but all one, so close enough. My good friend Jules, that was the one by Dakota of Earth on YouTube. So he goes by Dakota Went, and that was a recording he had of Krishna Das. So if you want to find that exact version, which is I haven't ever heard it written in the same way that they've written it there, at least that Krishna Das has sung. That one I guess that melody was the one recorded by Dakota Went or Dakota of Earth on YouTube. There's also something beautiful I want to share with you guys. Now my other parakeet is, he's in timeout right now because he was being really loud and I couldn't have him out here. We have 2 cages, so he's in the other room. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm grateful for this platform. I'm grateful for everyone who I can share these songs of devotion with. But my other beautiful parakeet, Lila, now they're male and female. She has laid some eggs, and she is sitting on them right now. She's being a good mommy. Let's see if I can share her with you guys. This is Lila, or Leela. She's named after the Leela of Maharaj, or just of God, of Krishna, or of Shiva, or whoever. This is Lila. Are you going to bite me? Because, yeah, she probably will bite me. She's being a good mama. Yeah, she's just sitting on her eggs. Let's see. But yeah, she loves the music too. I don't know if you can hear her. Sometimes she sings along. She goes. But yeah, I had one of my little parakeets a few years ago. An accident happened where she got stuck under a door. Her name was Lily, and I have a box of her and some crystals and some of her feathers. And right here, this is Lily's box, and she was named after the lotus flower of death and rebirth. And here we are with a mango and a Lila and now a little baby possibly on the way. Only one of her eggs looks viable, but miracles, man, miracles. Absolutely. Let's see, we'll do some more kirtan near the end here, but I wanted to pull a oracle card for everyone who's joining, just as a collective reading. I don't do the individual readings because I just feel like it's a little tacky. Different people have their own opinions on that. I just feel like it's tacky for me and I don't feel called to do that. But I like doing free collective readings or just free readings for people in general. So we're going to start this night off by doing a reading from my White Light Oracle deck, which we do some from this one. And I have another deck called the Rose Oracle deck. Both of these were gifted to me by my brother Finn. I had one of this exactly, but I lost it. And he gave me one that he had that he doesn't use. And then this has been my favorite deck ever, this White Light Oracle deck. It's got all kinds. It has interactive healing exercises that come with it for each card that you pull, and there's angels in here. There's deities, beings. There's all kinds of different things, and a lot of them are attached to specific frequencies. So it allows me to play these frequencies when we're doing the interactive healing walkthroughs. And so those are really fun and beneficial for people, I've found. So yeah, if you get something out of this, make sure to like and spread this, share this to more people, and let me know what resonated with you in the comments down here if you want to. Let's see. Hey, Brother War, it's been a minute. How are you? Let's see. I almost had this guy on my podcast. We just haven't got it worked out yet. Let's see. I tend to just shuffle like this. Because one will fly out inevitably. Let's see. Dakini of Infinite Light. Let's see. We'll save Bath Kol for later. I don't think that was the one that fell out. This was Dakini of Infinite Light. Wow. Look at that art, man. That is beautiful. I don't know if they do it with AI or if it's just part of the deck, like if it's actual art that somebody drew. Let's see, that's number 9, so it's not too far in. And these aren't too long, guys. They're decently short. Comes to 77. Just a quick little guided walkthrough. Dakini of infinite light. Seek and you shall find. Find the teachers and the teachings which feel pure to your heart. But remember, it is the inner truth of you that will ultimately set you free. Do not give your power away, but do trust in a greater guiding wisdom at work in all aspects of your life. Ask for help from enlightened spiritual beings in any matter of concern, and help shall be granted. Believe all problems can be resolved and a more graceful life experience is opening up for you now. A Dakini is a supernatural feminine being who inspires spiritual practice, guides one to actualize siddhis or spiritual abilities. Those can also be yogic powers like telekinesis or levitation or whatever, They can be distractions, Ram Dass says, but they are a vital part of the path of awakening and teaches the inner path of awakening. She protects us from negativities and restores our vital energies. She teaches us how to act through wisdom. She can be a demanding teacher, requiring us to reflect upon the mysteries she presents through our dreams, inspirations, and meditations, then proceed to unravel them. As we do so, we develop our inner capacities and become stronger. These wild, feminine creatures can be gentle or fierce, or a combination of both. When she appears in a reading, travel your path and explore your questions about spirituality and awakening with confidence, for much progress can be made as you do so. Some Dakinis are fully enlightened, whilst others are still in the process of awakening. Truly enlightened beings have the ability and desire to assist all other beings to enlightenment. They know how to lead us along the path because they have walked it before us. Beings of lesser development may or may not have such helpful intentions, but even if they do, how can they show us the way when they themselves have yet to discover it? Truly enlightened beings can and do help us in many ways, from solving problems that we encounter in our daily lives to ensuring that we are taking the most beneficial steps on our spiritual path. For me, this being would be Baba Neem Karoli. They are our spiritual family, guiding and assisting us from this place of love and skillfulness. The Dakini of infinite light, Marichi, is one such being. Marichi is connected with the rays of the light from the sun. She is sovereign over all lesser beings. Her many gifts include the capacity to guide one into enlightenment, to heal and repair that which has been separated or broken, and to provide protection during vulnerable transitions. Whenever we venture beyond known worlds, and also from misfortune and negativities of all kind, including being manipulated, controlled, or exploited, she resonates with material abundance too, and is associated with providing the prosperity we need to live a happy, long life and make progress on the spiritual path. This divine goddess of the sun brings light on all levels. We need light to see clearly, otherwise we feel confused as to which steps, if any, to take. This is just as true on emotional and psychological levels as it is on the physical. Light helps us see what is happening, rather than making assumptions. When we see what is happening clearly, we have the opportunity to make the best choices. The Oracle of the Dakini of Infinite Light augurs an increase of light in your life. This can include lightening up after a difficult time, an increase of clarity from a helpful healing and higher perspective, or a clear, positive path, opening up through a troublesome time. Her appearance signifies sacred victory. Call upon her and do not give up. The healing process. This is interactive. You can follow along if you so feel led. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Begin your practice by consciously connecting with your breath. Gentle sigh on the exhale, because nirvana is a sigh of relief. One more. Thank you, God. Take a deep breath in and then exhale fully, as though you are clearing out stale energies from within and purifying yourself. Repeat that 3 times. I think we did that, but you can definitely do that if you still feel that. Place a hand on your heart and slowly say, Mom. as if mom, mother. As you do so, see a beautiful light, like a radiant spiritual sun glowing in your heart. As you continue to make the sound, light fills you and the space around you, and it reaches out into all dimensions, delivering light to all beings in need. Relax into the sound and light. Repeat this step 3 times. Next, say the following mantra out loud as many times as you wish. It is recommended that it be at least 7 times. Om Maritse Mom Swaha. You can follow after me if you feel that. Om Maritse Mom Swaha. 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 One more. Om Maritse Mom Swaha. As you repeat the mantra, sense yourself as a golden treasure vase, filling up and glowing with abundant healing and empowering light which benefits all beings. Then rest, contemplating the beautiful light within you and all around you. When you are ready, ground yourself and hydrate. You have completed your healing process. I'll show you the mantra if anyone wants to screenshot that for reference later. You may have to screenshot it and then flip it in photos or something so you can see the letters. Anybody got that who wanted to get that? So, there you go. All right, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I was sitting with Mother Mary earlier. There's a beautiful little church school down here, and they got a statue of her outside. So sitting with the Mother, sitting with the Divine Feminine. Beautiful. I'm so happy I'm able to bless you with this. All right. Let's see. Oh, I don't know what. He fell off. Okay, he's back. All right. So we're going to be beginning reading again. I'm going to put on some music real quick. It said hydrate yourself and ground yourself, so I'm going to grab something to drink. We're going to throw on some nice music in the background. I think I played Krishna's flute last time, which was a beautiful track by Muji. It sort of adds to the spiritual air of the atmosphere. Let's see. That's my picture of Jesus behind me. Show you guys. This is the Christ picture. Now, yes, he's European in this. It's not very accurate, but I liked it because he looked like the wizard. He's got the wizard cloak, you know? And I got a Nazar here for the fact that he was a Nazarene, and that's a Nazar for that. And the Essenes, the Christ oil. So pumped, so excited. We're at a really good part in the story. I believe that we're about to see, if I'm correct, hopefully we're about to see, if not, you know, I'm obviously going to love whatever we read, but I'm hoping that we're going to get to see Ram string Shiva's bow. That's one of the epicest parts of this Indian epic. And I really love it. It's endearing. So we're at Sarga 50 of the Balakanda. I'm not entirely sure. This is the first time I have read Valmiki's Ramayana. So you're reading it for the first time with me. I have watched it, and I've watched the anime, and I've heard Ram Dass tell the story, many, many times. It's become a very dear story to me, and I love it. I love it dearly. It's very beautiful. Let's see Krishna's flute. Oh, I need to clear that first. Let's see. All right. Krishna's flute. There we go. Right there. 111. What about that? That's where I'm at in it. It's got me about halfway through.
You mind if I ask what type of food you usually eat? Actually, I eat anything.
And I can recommend this beautiful track for meditation. I'll show it to you guys. It's from Muji's Garden. It's on YouTube. Let's see. I can't show it for very long because it's unoriginal content and they'll take me off the For You page. But just so you guys know what it is. Here we go. It's Muji's Garden, Krishna's Flute. Is that too loud? Can you all still hear me? Awesome. So excited. I'm so pumped for this. We are at Sarga 50. Thank you, God. I'm going to say a quick prayer to Ganesha to help make this even more auspicious, if it could possibly be. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Niravignam Guru Medeva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om. Upon seeing Rama and hearing these words of wise Vishvamitra, the great and powerful ascetic, I'm going to turn this down just slightly. There we go. Upon seeing Rama and hearing these words of wise Vishvamitra, the great and powerful ascetic Shatananda, Gautama's eldest son, who shone brightly through the power of his austerities, was moved to the greatest wonder, and the hairs of his body bristled with delight. Seeing to it that the king's sons were comfortably seated, Shatananda spoke to Vishvamitra, best of sages. Tiger among sages, did you present my renowned mother, who has suffered much prolonged penances, to the king's son? Mighty man, did my renowned mother do homage with offerings of forest fruits to Rama, who is worthy of the homage of all living beings? Mighty man, have you told Rama of what happened to my mother long ago, when the god used her so wickedly? Bless you, Kaushika, best of sages. Was my mother reunited with my father after seeing Rama? Son of Kaushika was great and mighty. Rama shown reverence by my father, and did show him reverence in return before coming here. Son of Kaushika, did this self-possessed Rama respectfully salute my father with a tranquil heart before coming here? When the great sage Vishvamitra, skilled in speech, heard eloquent Shatananda's words, he replied, best of sages, I did all that was required within the limits of propriety. The sage and his wife were reunited like Bhargava and Renuka. When mighty Shatananda had heard wise Vishvamitra's words, he turned to Rama and said, welcome, best of men. How fortunate that you have come, following this great seer, the invincible Vishvamitra, inconceivable in his actions and immeasurable in his splendor. The mighty Vishvamitra became a Brahman seer through his own austerity. Did you know that he is the highest recourse? There is no one on earth more fortunate than you, Rama, for your guardian is Kaushika's son, who has performed great austerities. Please listen as I tell you about the great Kaushika. Listen as I recount the history of his mighty deeds, just as it happened. The righteous man was long a foe-conquering king. He knew the ways of righteousness, had mastered all the sciences, and was devoted to the welfare of his subjects. Once there was a king named Kusha, son of Prajapati, lord of creatures. Kusha's son was the mighty and righteous Kushanaba. Kushanaba's son was known as Gadhi, and this great sage, mighty Vishvamitra, is Gadhi's son. Mighty Vishvamitra once ruled the earth, reigning as a king for many thousands of years. But on one occasion, that man of great blazing energy assembled his forces and, surrounded by a vast army, wandered over the earth. Roaming in turn through cities, countries, rivers, mountains, and ashrams, the king at length came to Vashishta's ashram, filled with all sorts of flowers, fruits, and trees. Greatest of conquerors, the mighty Vishvamitra saw Vashishta's ashram, which was like a second Brahma Loka, which is the realm of Brahma. It was filled with with herds of all kinds of animals, and frequented by perfected beings and celestial bards. It was made lovely by gods, Danavas, Gandharvas, and Kinnaras. It was filled with tame deer, and was the home of flocks of birds. It was filled with hosts of Brahmin seers, and frequented by hosts of divine seers, great men who had perfected themselves through the practice of austerities, and who shone like fire. It was splendid, and continuously thronged with great men who resembled Brahma, and who lived on water alone, or air, or only withered leaves. It was filled with seers and Valakilias, self-controlled men who had conquered their anger and subdued their senses, men who lived only on fruits and roots and were given over entirely to prayer and sacrifice. Oh, excuse me. Sarga 51. Mighty Vishvamitra was delighted to see Vashishta, foremost in Vedic recitation, and bowed to him in humility. Then great Vashishta spoke to him, saying, "You are welcome." Holy Vashishta then indicated that he should be seated. Once wise, Vishvamitra was seated. The eminent sage offered him fruit and roots as custom demanded. The eminent king, mighty Vishvamitra, accepted Vashishta's homage and then inquired after the progress of his austerities, the Agnihotra rites, his disciples, and his grove of great trees. Vashishta replied that all was well. Then Vashishta, son of Brahma, great ascetic and foremost in Vedic recitation, in turn questioned King Vishvamitra, who sat there at his ease. "I trust that all is well with you, your majesty. Your majesty, you are a righteous man. I trust that you are governing your subjects in the manner proper to a king, and that, within the limits of righteousness, you keep them satisfied. Your dependents are, I trust, well taken care of, and obedient to your commands. Foe-slaughtering hero, I trust that all your foes are conquered. Tiger among men, bane of your foes, I trust all is well with your army, treasury, and allies and sinless man, with your sons and grandsons as well." The mighty king Vishvamitra humbly replied to the eminent Vashishta that everything was well. The two righteous men then engaged in pleasant conversation for a long time, with the greatest pleasure, so that they became quite fond of each other. At the end of the conversation, Delight of the Raghus, a name for Ram, because he's telling this story to Ram, Vashishta, smiling silently, said these words to Vishvamitra: "Mighty and unfathomable man, I wish to offer my hospitality as befits your rank, to you and to your troops. Please accept this from me, please, your majesty. Accept the welcome that I am offering you, for you are the greatest of guests, your majesty, and I must make every effort to do you honor." When Vashishta had addressed him in this fashion, the wise king Vishvamitra replied, "In merely speaking of honoring me, you have already done so. It is you who are deserving of honor, holy man. And yet you have honored me in every way with the things to be had in your ashram, with fruits and roots, with water for rinsing my feet and mouth, and by permitting me to see you. I shall go now, wise and holy man. Goodbye. Please look kindly upon me." But even though the king spoke in this fashion, Vashishta, who was both noble-minded and righteous, repeatedly pressed his invitation. At last the son of God, he replied to Vashishta, "Very well, let it be just as you wish, holy and eminent sage." On receiving this reply, Vashishta, foremost in Vedic recitation, and cleansed of all sin, was pleased and called to his brindled cow. Come quickly, Shabala, and hear my words. I have decided to prepare a hospitable welcome, replete with sumptuous foods for the royal seer and his troops. See to it for me, for my sake. Heavenly wish-fulfilling cow, you must pour forth anything these men desire, as much as they want, using all the 6 flavors. Hurry, Sharbala, you must make a huge amount of food, including savory rice and beverages, and delicacies to lick and suck. Talking about candy. Sarga 52. What do I do with my drink? Just 1 second, guys. What's over here? Addressed in this fashion by Vashishta, O foe-slaughtering hero. The wish-fulfilling cow, Shabala, produced as much as anyone desired. She made sugarcane and sweets, parched grain, and Mariya wine, excellent liquors, costly beverages, and all sorts of food. She produced mountainous heaps of steaming rice, savory food, pulses, and rivers of curds. There were thousands of silver platters filled with various delicious confections. In this way, Rama, Vashishta was able to satisfy the hunger of Vishvamitra's entire army. Fed to satiation, the army was full of happy and well-fed people. The royal seer, King Vishvamitra, his womenfolk, Brahmins and Purohitas, were likewise happy and well-fed. The honor shown him and his ministers and counselors filled him with great joy, and he addressed Vashishta, Brahmin, you who are yourself worthy of honor have cordially received me and shown me great honor. But listen, eloquent sage, for I have something to say. Please give me Shabala in exchange for 100,000 cows. For holy man, she is truly a jewel, and all jewels belong to the king. Therefore, twice-born Brahmin, you must give me Shabala, for by rights she is mine. Addressed in this fashion by Vishvamitra, the eminent, righteous, and holy sage Vashishta replied to that lord of the earth, I would not give you Shabala, your majesty, for 100,000 or even 1,000,000,000 cows, not even for masses of silver. For she is as inseparable from me as is a good repute from a man of self-control. Foe-conquering hero, Shabala is not deserving of abandonment. For upon her depend my offerings to the gods, and the offering to my departed ancestors, as well as our bodily sustenance. So do the Agnihotra rites, the Bali, and the Homa offerings. So too do the ritual utterances, Svaha and Vasat, and the various branches of learning. All this depends upon her, royal seer. Of this there can be no doubt. Truly she is everything to me, always gratifying me, your majesty. There can be many reasons why I cannot give you Shabala. However, being spoken to in this fashion by Vashishta only made the eloquent Vishvamitra still more determined. And he said these words, I will give you 14,000 elephants, with gold chains for girth and neck, equipped with goads of gold, and I will give you 800 golden four-yoked chariots, adorned with bells and drawn by white horses. Sage, firm in your vows, I will give you in addition 1,010 powerful horses, foaled in good regions and born of noble stock. And to this I will add 10 million young cows, each distinguished by a different coloring. Now please give me Shabala. He didn't say please. Now give me Shabala. Addressed in this fashion by wise Vishvamitra, the holy man replied, I would not give up my Shabala for anything, your majesty, for she alone is my jewel. She alone is my wealth. She alone is everything to me, my very life. Your majesty, she alone represents for me the new and full moon rites, the sacrifices by which I earn my fees. She represents all the various ritual performances. There is no doubt, your majesty. Excuse me. Yet all my ritual performances depend upon her. But what is the use of all this idle chatter? I will not give up the wish-fulfilling cow. It's funny, this flute always makes me yawn like crazy. It's good though, it's purgative, you know. Sarga 53. Now when the sage Vashishta would not give up Shabala, the wish-fulfilling cow, Rama, Vishvamitra, had her dragged away from him by force. As the great king had Shabala led away Rama, she was overwhelmed with grief and began to think, has great Vashishta abandoned me, that the king's servants are taking me away even though I am despondent and so terribly unhappy? What wrong have I done in the great contemplative seer, that this righteous man should abandon me, his favorite, when I am innocent and devoted to him? Reflecting thus, she sighed repeatedly, then ran quickly to the incomparably powerful Vashishta. Shaking off servants by the hundreds, foe-slaughtering hero, she ran with the speed of the wind to the great man's feet. Standing before Vashishta, Shabala bellowed like a thundering storm clouds. Weeping and crying out, she spoke, Holy son of Brahma, since the king's men are taking me away from you, have you abandoned me? Addressed in this fashion, the Brahmin seers spoke these words as though to an unhappy sister whose heart was consumed with grief. I have not abandoned you, Shabala, nor have you wronged me. This mighty king is taking you from me by force. My power is not equal to the king's, especially today, for he is a mighty Kshatriya monarch, the lord of the earth. There is his vast army, with hosts of horses and chariots bristling with elephants and banners. By virtue of this, he is stronger than I. Addressed in this fashion by Vashishta and skilled in speech, she humbly spoke these words in reply to the immeasurably splendid Brahmin seer. They say that a Kshatriya has no real power, and that a Brahmin is in fact more powerful. Brahmin, the power of a Brahmin is divine and much greater than that of a Kshatriya. Your power is immeasurable, Vishvamitra. Excuse me. It's very powerful. But he is not mightier than you. Your power is unassailable. Just give me the order, mighty man, and filled with the power of the Brahmins, I will crush the might and pride of this wicked man." When she had addressed him in this fashion, Rama, the greatly renowned Vashishta said, "Create an army to destroy the armies of my enemy." Then, protector of men, she gave a roar, "Humba!" from which were born thousands or hundreds and hundreds of Pallavas who destroyed Vishvamitra's army before his very eyes. What are Pavalas, my friend Paresh? Do you know? Pallavas. Pahlavas.
Nope, I don't
That's
know.
okay. That's okay. Well, hopefully we figure out through context. Let's see. Who destroyed Vishvamitra's army before his very eyes. The king was furiously angry, and his eyes wide with rage, he destroyed those Pallavas with all manner of weapons. Seeing the Pallavas struck down in their hundreds by Vishvamitra, the cow created a new mixed force of dreadful Shakyas and Yavanas. The mixed force of Shakyas and Yavanas covered the earth. Splendid and immensely powerful, they shone like so many golden filaments of flowers. Carrying long swords and sharp-edged spears, and clad in golden armor, they consumed the entire army of the king like so many blazing fires. The mighty Vishvamitra fired his weapons. Sarga 54. Seeing her hosts stunned and overwhelmed by Vishvamitra's weapons, Vashishta commanded, "Wish-fulfilling cow, create more troops through your yogic power." From her bellow, Humba, were produced Kambojas as radiant as the sun, while from her udders came Pallavas, weapons in hand. From her vulva came Yavanas, and from her, I don't know if I can say that, Shakyas, and from the pores of her skin, Mlekas, Haritas, and Kiratas. In an instant, delight of the Raghus, Vishvamitra's entire army was destroyed with its infantry, elephants, horses, and chariots. Then the 100 sons of Vishvamitra, seeing that their army had been destroyed by great Vashishta, the foremost reciter of the Vedas, took up various weapons and charged him furiously. But the great seer, merely uttering the syllable hum, consumed them all. And so in a single moment, the sons of Vishvamitra, horses, chariots, infantry, and all were reduced to ashes by the great Vashishta. I'm on 20%. I need to go plug up my phone because it's been... the battery has been going dead on me in the middle of these. Hope everyone is enjoying the story so far. How wonderful y'all get to see Ram in the background. I keep saying that every time. I like this angle. Whoa, I don't want to tangle the cord. Come on now. Just want something to sit on. When the renowned Vishvamitra saw that his sons and his army had been annihilated, he was ashamed and sank into gloomy thought. Like the ocean becalmed, or a snake whose fangs are broken, like the sun in eclipse, he was suddenly deprived of his splendor. With his sons and army slain, he grew dejected, like a bird whose wings were clipped. His pride demolished, his energy sapped, he grew depressed. So appointing his one surviving son as a king, he said, "Rule the earth according to the code of the Kshatriyas," and entered the forest without delay. He went to the slopes of the Himalayas, frequented by Kinnaras and serpents, and there was a great ascetic performed austerities to gain the favor, and there that great ascetic performed austerities to gain favor of the great god Shiva. After some time, that lord of gods, the granter of boons, whose emblem is the bull, revealed himself to the great sage Vishvamitra. He said, "For what purpose are you practicing austerities, your majesty? Say what you want to say. Name the boon you desire, for I am the granter of boons." Addressed in this fashion by the great god Shiva, the great ascetic Vishvamitra prostrated himself and said these words, "If you are satisfied with me, great god without sin, then please teach me the science of arms with its ancillary and secondary sciences, Upanishads and secret spells. God without sin, grant me knowledge of whatever weapons are known among the gods, Darnavas, great seers, Gandharvas, and Yakshas. Through your grace, God of gods, let what I desire come to pass." The Lord of God said, "So be it," and returned to heaven. And now the mighty royal seer, already proud, was filled with still greater pride upon receiving these weapons. Swelling with might like the ocean on the full moon day, he regarded the eminent seer Vashishta as good as dead. Returning to the sage's ashram, the king let fly his weapons, by which through their blazing energy the entire ascetic's grove was consumed. And when the sages saw the weapons discharged by wise Vishvamitra, they were terrified and fled in their hundreds in all directions. Even Vashishta's disciples and the beasts and birds were frightened of the danger and fled by thousands in all directions. In what seemed but a moment, great Vashishta's ashram was as empty and silent as a desert despite Vashishta's repeated cries of "Don't be frightened, I shall destroy the son of Godhi as the sun, bringer of light, destroys the mist." When he had spoken in this fashion, the mighty Vashishta, foremost reciter of the Vedas, spoke these words in wrath to Vishvamitra. "You fool, since your conduct is so depraved that you would wreck an ashram that has so long flourished, you shall die." So saying in a towering rage, he quickly raised his staff, which was like a second rod of Yama, the god of death, and stood there like the smokeless fire of the universal destruction. That was Saga 54. We're going to be continuing in Saga 55. Let's see. When Vashishta had spoken to him in this fashion, mighty Vishvamitra fired... Here. Get my pillows. Where was I at? Okay, yeah. When Vashishta had spoken to him in this fashion, mighty Vishvamitra fired this divine weapon of Agni, crying, "Stand, stand!" Holy Vashishta then spoke these words in anger. "Here I am, you Kshatriya, in name only. Let us see just how mighty you really are, son of Godhi. I shall crush your pride and your weapons. What comparison is there between your Kshatriya power and the immense power of a Brahmin? You are a disgrace to the Kshatriyas, and shall now witness my divine Brahmanical power." And so the great and terrible divine weapon of Agni, released by Godhi's son, was quenched by the Brahmin's staff, like the fierceness of fire by water. Enraged, the son of Godhi then fired the Varuna, Raudra, okay, because it's not Rudra, it's Raudra, Indra, Pashupata, Ashika, Manava, Mohana, Gandharva, Svapana, Jirbana, Mohana, Satapana, Vilapana, Soshana, Dharana, and the irresistible Vajra. Brahma's noose, Kala's noose, Varuna's noose, the coveted divine weapon Pinaka, the Shushka, and Ardra's lightning bolts, the divine weapon of Danda, the divine weapons of Pachicha, and Krauncha, the discus of Dharma, the discus of Kala, the discus of Vishnu, and the mighty weapons Matana and Hayashiraz, as well as that of Vayu. Then he hurled a pair of spears, the Kankala and the Musala, and that great divine weapon of the Vidyaharas, the dreadful divine weapon of Kala, the dreadful divine weapon Trishula, the Kapala, and the Kankana. Indeed, the light of the Raghus, he hurled all these divine weapons at Vashishta, the foremost reciter of the Vedas. But a wondrous thing occurred. The son of Brahma engulfed them all with his staff. When all these divine weapons had been rendered harmless, the delight of God he hurled Brahma's divine weapon. Seeing that divine weapon raised, the gods with Agni at their head, the divine seers, Gandharvas, and great serpents were terrified. And when Brahma's divine weapon was released, the three worlds shook with fear. But Raghava, through his Brahmanical power, Vashishta swallowed up even Brahma's great and terrible divine weapon with his Brahman staff. And once he had swallowed up Brahma's divine weapon, great Vashishta, appearance became fierce and very dreadful, stupefying the three worlds. From every pore of great Vashishta's body there sprang like sparks smoky tongues of flame. Raised in his hand like a second rod of Yama, Vashishta's Brahmanical staff blazed like the smokeless fire of universal destruction. Then the host of sages praised Vashishta, foremost reciter of the Vedas, saying, Brahman, your might is infallible. Restrain this power with your own power, Brahman. You have defeated the great ascetic Vishvamitra. Be gracious, foremost reciter of the Vedas. Let this world be free of this alarm. Addressed in this fashion, the mighty ascetic calmed himself, and Vishvamitra, humiliated, sighed and said, To hell with the power of the Kshatriyas. Only the weapon of a Brahman's blazing energy is power indeed. All my divine weapons have been destroyed by a single Brahman's staff. Therefore, when I have reflected on this and calmed my mind and senses, I shall undertake great austerities, for this alone will make me too a Brahman. Are you guys down for reading another 5 tonight? We usually do 5 at a time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go. Sarga 56. And then Raghava, is the way in which the way in which the mighty ascetic Vishvamitra had began his feud with the great Vashishta. Sick at heart, remembering his defeat, and sighing repeatedly, he then traveled to the south with his queen. This music really does make me yawn a lot. It's like, I'm not even really that tired, it's just so relaxing and peaceful, man. And then he engaged in extreme and awesome austerities. Eating fruit and roots and controlling his senses, he engaged in extreme austerities. In time, several sons were born to him. They were devoted to truth and righteousness, and their names were Havispanda, Madhuspanda, Durdhanitra, and Maharata. When a full 1,000 years had passed in this way, Brahma, grandfather of the worlds, spoke sweet words to the ascetic Vishvamitra. Son of Kushika, your austerities have won for you the worlds to which royal seers aspire. By virtue of your austerity, we acknowledge you as a royal seer. When he had finished this speech, the powerful supreme lord of all the worlds went first to Indra's heaven, Trivishtapa with the gods, and then to the Brahmaloka, his own realm. But Vishvamitra, upon hearing that, became dejected. Lowering his face in shame and filled with great sorrow, he said this, I have performed the most severe austerities, yet all the gods and host of seers regard me as a mere royal seer. I do not consider this a fitting recompense for my austerities. Having come to this decision, Kakutsa, that great supremely self-controlled ascetic, once more performed the most extreme austerities. Now at that very time there was a descendant of the Ikshvaku dynasty, known as Trisanku. He had conquered his senses and spoke the truth. Once, Raghava, he conceived the following plan. I will perform a sacrifice such that I will ascend to the highest realm of the gods in my own body. He summoned Vashishta and told him of his intention. But the great Vashishta simply told him that's impossible. And so since Vashishta had refused him, he went to the south where the sons of Vashishta, given to prolonged austerities, were practicing austerity. There mighty Trishanku saw Vashishta's 100 brilliantly radiant and renowned sons performing their austerities. Approaching those great sons of his guru with his face somewhat lowered in shame, the mighty king saluted them in due order. Then cupping his hands in reverence, he addressed them all. I have come as a refugee, seeking refuge with you, for you alone can give me refuge. Bless you, I have been refused by the great Vashishta. I wish to perform a great sacrifice. Please permit it. I am bowing before my guru's sons in order to secure their favor. Bowing my head, I beg you, Brahmins, firm in your austerities. Please, gentlemen, together offer sacrifice for me, so that I may attain in this very body the world of the gods. Since Vashishta had refused me ascetics, I can see no other recourse but you, my guru's sons. Our Purohita has always been the last resort of all Ikshvakus. After him, gentlemen, you are my gods. Sarga 57. Now when the 100 sons of the seer heard Trishanku's words, Rama, they were enraged and replied to the king, You fool, you have been refused by your guru who always speaks the truth. How dare you go beyond him and come to someone else? Your Purohita has always been the final resort of all Ishvakus. It is impossible to circumvent the word of one who speaks the truth. If the holy seer Vashishta has told you that's impossible, how can we undertake this sacrifice of yours? You are a fool, best of men. Now go back to your city, your majesty. The holy seer is able to perform such a sacrifice as would give him control over all the three worlds." Upon hearing these words, the syllables of which were slurred with anger, the king addressed them once, saying, "So, I am refused by both my guru and my guru's sons. Very well, then, I shall find some other way, ascetics. I bid you farewell." When the sons of the seers heard those words with their horrifying implications, they flew into a towering rage and cursed him. "You shall become a Khandala." So saying, the great man entered their ashram. And so when the night had passed, the king transformed into a Khandala. He became black and coarse, with black garments and unkempt hair. His ornaments were of iron, his garlands and ointment from the cremation ground. Seeing him in the guise of a Khandala, Rama, the townsfolk and even his counselors and courtiers abandoned him and ran away together. The king was all alone, Kakutsa, supremely self-controlled but suffering torment day and night. He went to the ascetic Vishvamitra. "Bless you, Rama." When the sage Vishvamitra saw the ruined king in the guise of a Khandala, he was moved to compassion, and it was this compassion that led the powerful and supremely righteous sage to speak to the dreadful-looking kings. "Why have you come here, mighty prince, heroic lord of Ayodhya? It is a curse that has made you a Khandala." Hearing these words, the eloquent Khandala king cupped his hands in reverence and spoke to him who was skilled in speech. "I have been refused by both my guru and my guru's sons. I have suffered this calamity without having accomplished my desire. May I enter heaven in this body. Such was my dream, kind sir, yet I have performed 100 sacrifices and gained nothing by it." Okay, Lila? "I have never told a lie, nor will I ever, though I have come upon hard times, kind sir. This I swear to you by the code of the Kshatriyas. I have performed many kinds of sacrifices, ruled my subjects in righteousness, and satisfied my great gurus with my virtuous conduct. Yet though I strive continuously for righteousness, bull among sages, and wish to offer sacrifice, my gurus are not satisfied. And so I think that fate alone is supreme, and human effort good for nothing. Everything is overcome by fate. Our final recourse is to fate. Please show your grace to me, for in my sore affliction I must seek it. My fate has brought all my good works to nothing. I shall not seek for any other refuge, for there is no other refuge left to me. Please try through human effort to overcome the power of fate." Sarga 58. When the king had spoken in this fashion, Kaushika's son took pity on him and spoke sweet words directly to him, although his appearance was that of a Khandala. "Welcome, Ikshvaku, my son. I know you are a righteous man. Have no fear, bull among kings. I shall be your refuge." 39. "Your Majesty, I shall summon all the great seers, holy in their every act, as my assistants in the sacrifice. Then, free from all anxiety, you may perform your sacrifice. You shall ascend bodily to heaven, and in the very form you now possess, the one created by your gurus, curse, Lord of men." "I feel that heaven is already within your grasp, for you have come to me, a Kashika, for refuge, and I can well provide it." After speaking in this fashion, the mighty man gave instructions to his wise and righteous sons concerning the preparations for the sacrifice. Then he summoned all his disciples and addressed them in these words. "My sons, on my authority, you are to bring all truly learned men, the foremost of the seers with their disciples and sacrificial priests, all those who are friendly to us, and should anyone provoked by the force of my words say anything in disrespect, you are to report to me the whole of his speech, omitting nothing." Heeding these words and following his instructions, they dispersed in all directions. And so it was that Vedic scholars came there from all parts of the country. All his disciples then rejoined that blazingly splendid sage, and reported to him what all the Vedic scholars had said. "Hearing your proclamation, twice-born Brahmins are gathering in every part of the country. All of them are coming except Mahodaya. But listen, bull among sages, to all the words, their syllables slurred with anger, of Vashishta's 100 sons. How can the gods and seers in a sacrificial assembly partake of the offerings of a man whose sacrificial priest is a Kshatriya, especially when he himself is a Khandala? Or is the patronage of this Vishvamitra sufficient? Or is the patronage of this Vishvamitra sufficient to ensure that the great Brahmins will go to heaven, even after having eaten a Khandala's food?" Such tiger among sages were the contemptuous words uttered with reddened eyes by Mahodaya and all of Vashishta's sons. When the bull among sages heard these words, his own eyes grew red with rage, and he spoke in anger. Since they revile me, who am not to be reviled, engaged as I am in fierce austerities, these vile creatures will without doubt be reduced to ashes. Today Kala's noose had led them to the abode of Vaishvasvata, Lord of Death. May they all become keepers of the dead for 700 lifetimes. May they wander through the world as mushtikas, vile outcasts, hideous to look upon and loathsome in their occupation to their daily food, the flesh of dogs. The evil-minded Mahodaya, too, has reviled me, who am not to be reviled. Let him become a tribesman of the Nishadas, rivaled among all people, pitiless, intent upon destroying life. He shall drag out a long and miserable life for angering me. Having uttered these words in the midst of the seers, the great sage Vishvamitra, a mighty ascetic, fell silent. Sarga 53, or 59. I'm getting tired. After mighty Vishvamitra had ruined Mahodaya, just like my mouth's getting tired, not that we're gonna quit, guys. We're gonna read until at least 60. Mahodaya and the sons of Vashishta, through the power of his austerities, he spoke in the midst of the seers. Here stands Trishanku, a pious and generous heir of Ikshvaku. Because he wishes to enter the world of the gods in this body of his, he has had to seek refuge with me, gentlemen. Let us offer a sacrifice such that he may ascend to the world of the gods in his own body. When they heard Vishvamitra's words, all the great seers who knew what was right assembled and spoke together in keeping with righteousness. This sage, the heir of Kushika, is extremely irritable. There can be no doubt that we must do whatever he commands and do it properly, for the holy man is like fire. If angered, he will surely curse us. So let the sacrifice commence, so that Ikshvaku's hair may go to heaven in his body through Vishvamitra's power. Then crying, let the sacrifice commence. They all took part in it. When the great seers had spoken in this fashion, they performed the various ritual acts. But the principal officiant of that sacrifice was the mighty Vishvamitra himself. The sacrificial priests, skilled in Vedic mantras, performed every rite to the accompaniment of Vedic mantras in due order and according to precept and ritual injunctions. Then after a long time, the great ascetic Vishvamitra summoned the gods to come for their portions. But although they were summoned to come for their portions, not one of the gods came. The great sage Vishvamitra was filled with rage. Angrily raising the sacrificial ladle, he said this to Trishanku, Lord of man, behold the power of my slowly garnered austerity. Through this immense power I shall now conduct you bodily to heaven. Ascend bodily to heaven, Lord of men, difficult though it may be, for I have garnered for myself some small fruit of my austerity, and through the power of that, your majesty, you shall ascend bodily to heaven. No sooner had the sage spoken these words, Kakutsa, than the Lord of men ascended bodily to heaven before the very eyes of the sages. But when Indra, the chastiser of Paka, saw that Trishanku had arrived in the world of the gods, he and all the host of the gods said this, Go back, Trishanku. There is no place for you in heaven. You fool. You have been ruined by the curse of your gurus. Fall head first back to earth. Addressed in this fashion by the great Lord Indra, Trishanku fell back again, crying out to the ascetic Vishvamitra, Save me! Kaushika heard him crying out, and displaying his fierce anger, he called out, Stop! Stop! Then standing among the seers, besides himself with rage, the renowned and mighty sage, like a second Prajapati, lord of creatures, created a whole new set of constellations in the south, fashioning another constellation out of the seven seers in the southern part of the sky. When he created this new set of constellations, he spoke choking with rage, I will create another Indra, or perhaps the world should be without an Indra. And in his wrath he began to create even gods. At this, the bulls among gods and the host of seers became thoroughly alarmed, and spoke soothing words to great Vishvamitra. Illustrious ascetic, this king has been ruined by his guru's curse. He is not worthy of bodily entering heaven. Now when the bull among sages, Kaushika, heard these words of the gods, he spoke grave words to them in reply. Bless you, as I made a solemn promise to King Trishanku that you should ascend bodily to heaven. I dare not make it false. Trishanku and his bodily form shall remain in heaven forever, and all my constellations shall endure. Yes, all these things that I created shall last as long as the worlds endure. You must all agree to this, O gods. Addressed in this fashion, all the gods replied to the bull among sages, So be it, bless you. Let all your many constellations remain in the sky outside the circuit of the sun, which shines on all men. And best of sages, let Sri Shanku, blazing brightly and looking like a god, remain head downwards, one among those shining stars. Then praised by all gods and seers, the righteous and mighty Vishvamitra replied, Very well. And so best of men, at the end of the sacrifice, the gods and great ascetics departed just as they had come. This flute, this beautiful, beautiful flute is putting me to sleep, so I'm going to have to pause it or change it. Cannot help. Touch it. What's up, Oliver? What's up, buddy? What do you got to say? This is Oliver. Yes, we keep him away from the birds very well, so they're in a big cage. And I don't think he even knows that he's supposed to hunt birds. He watches them. He'll just watch them, and he gets upset if we don't let him. He gets sad. So I have no other kitty friends or any pets, you know. Oh, buddy, you can come here. Look, but let me read, okay? And all the worlds endure. You must agree to this, O gods. Addressed in this fashion, all the gods replied to the bull among sages, So be it, bless you. Let all your many constellations remain in the sky outside the circuit of the sun, which shines on all men. And best of sages, let Sri Shanku, blazing brightly and looking like a god, remain head downwards, one among those shining stars. Then praised by all the gods and seers, the righteous and mighty Vishvamitra replied, Very well. And so, best of men, at the end of the sacrifice, the gods and great ascetic sages departed just as they had come. Sarga 60. This will be the last one we're reading tonight because I'm a little tired. But after this, we'll chant some more devotional songs. So no worries, we're going to keep it going for a little bit while longer. When the great Vishvamitra saw that the seers had departed, tiger among men, he spoke to all the forest dwellers. Since this great obstacle arose here in the southern region, we shall go to some other region and practice our austerities there. Great men, let us go and practice our austerities undisturbed at Pushkara in the sparsely peopled west. That is the best of all ascetics' forests. Having said this, the great and powerful sage performed severe and difficult austerities at Pushkara, subsisting only on roots and fruit. Now just at that very time, Lord of Ayodhya, a king known as Ambarisha, undertook a sacrifice. But while he was engaged in that sacrifice, Indra carried off the sacrificial victim. And since the victim was lost, the priest said to the king, Your Majesty, today through your carelessness, the sacrificial victim has been stolen. Lord of men, such lapses destroy a king who does not guard against them. Bull among men, there is only one way to expiate this lapse, and it is a very serious one indeed. Quickly, while the rite is still in progress, you must either recover the victim or replace it with a man. Upon hearing the words of his preceptor, Bull among men, the wise king sought to find a victim in exchange for thousands of cows. Now it happened, delight of the Raghus, my son, that in searching regions, countries, cities, forests, and holy ashrams, one after the other, the Lord of the earth encountered Rishika and the Burguntunda seated with his wife and sons. The mighty and immeasurable splendid royal seer prostrated himself, propitiating the Brahmin seer, Rishika, blazing with ascetic power. Then after inquiring about his well-being in all respects, he said these words, If illustrious Bhargava, you will sell me your son for 100,000 cows to be my sacrificial victim, I will have accomplished my purpose. For I wandered over every country and still have not found a victim suitable for sacrifice. So please give me one of your sons for a price. Whew. Addressed in this fashion, mighty Rishika said these words, Best of men, I would not sell my eldest son for anything. When he heard Rishika's words, the ascetic woman, mother of his great sons, spoke to Ambarisha, that tiger among men. Your Majesty, you must realize that I too have a favorite, Shunaka, my youngest. For just as the eldest are usually dearest to their fathers, best of men, so are the youngest to their mothers. Therefore I shall keep my youngest son. But after the sage and his wife had spoken, Rama, Shunashepa, the middle son, spoke for himself. My father says the eldest cannot be sold, and my mother says the same of the youngest. So I gather the middle son has been sold. Lead me away, your Majesty. So the Lord of Men departed, the light of the Ragus, delighted to have gotten Shunashepa for 100,000 cows. Quickly placing Shunashepa in his chariot, the renowned and mighty royal seer Ambarisha sped away. Wow, what a part. What a part. Some of these stories are so shocking. You're like, wow. That's what I love about the Ramayana. It's something it's like reading a movie or something. What did you guys think about the excerpt we read tonight? Anything to say? Let's see. What about you, Paresh? What did you like anything specific? I don't want to put you on the. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to have conversation. Let's see. What am I reading? It's called the Ramayana of Valmiki. Let's see. What'd you think of what we just read, buddy?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, I loved it. That was beautiful. That was cool. I think I've heard that story before. There's this like feeling that the whole Ramayana is so familiar to me. It's very possible I heard it in a past life because I've never read Valmiki's Ramayana, but I've heard that story about the cow somewhere far, far, far back. I've heard that story about the cow that granted all wishes, and the two sages fighting. I've heard that story before somewhere.
Yeah,
It like resonates in my soul. Very cool.
it's a Kamdenu cow.
Yeah, yeah. What was the cow?
Kamdenu.
Kamadenu. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you just wish for it, and Kamdenu cow will give you whatever you want.
Wow, wow. And I love that in Indian culture, cows are symbolic of the mother. Thank you so much for the follow, TNT. They're symbolic of the mother, because they give more than they take, and they nourish us with milk that they process from the grass. And it's crazy because science has even gotten to the point, cow stool, cow feces, and cow urine is sterile, and that's why it can be used as it's antiseptic. That's why it can be used as fertilizer, such great fertilizer. What's interesting is that scientists have just compressed, and added. I don't think they add any enzymes at all. They just compress grass, and there's a certain way they did it, similar to how a cow's stomach would do it and process grass, and they made milk out of the grass. So a cow literally is the vessel through which Mother Earth provides us with dairy and milk and nourishment, like our mother does, like our actual mother
Yeah,
does. What do you think of that?
yeah, that's true.
So cool, so cool. Cows are very revered animals in India because they take or they give more than they take. They eat a little bit of grass and they give butter, milk. If you have a bull and a mare cow, you can plow fields, raise a family. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can sell all of this stuff. You can provide for that entire family just with those two cows. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. Let's see, where's my battery at? 57. Hey, Seraphim, you can join back if you want to, but I understand if you hopped off for any personal reasons, if you're just tired or, you're done for the night on that. We're just going to chant a little bit more, and then we're going to call it a night, guys. We're going to chant some very beautiful munches. Now, my live was restricted last night, unfortunately, because I tried to show the lyrics of some of these chants.
Yeah,
Kind of silly.
yeah.
I don't think they should have done
Let's just
that.
avoid it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
maybe we
let's
should
just
stick.
avoid it today. Yeah,
What do you say?
yeah. We can. We don't need to show the screen. Just yeah, you can avoid that.
Yeah, yeah, we'll play simple ones that are easier for us tonight. That way people don't have to like learn or try to figure out the lyrics. Let's do the Samadhi
Yeah.
Sitaram. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey.
Samadhi Sitaram.
Rough start to your family vacation? That's an innovation occasion. Innovation from the freezer aisle.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Sita Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Hare Ram, Sita Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Hare Ram, Sita Hare Ram, Ram Sita Ram, Ram Hare Ram, Sita Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Hare Ram, Sita Ram, Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram. Bolo Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai 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 Ram, Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Sitaram, Sitaram, Ram Ram, Sitaram, Ram Ram, Sitaram,
Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Sitaram.
Sitaram, Ram Ram, Sitaram, 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 Ram Ram, Sitaram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Sitaram,
Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri 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 Ram, Jai
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai
Ram Ram, Sitaram, Ram Ram, Sitaram, 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 Ram Ram, Sitaram.
Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram.
Sitaram, Ram Ram, Sitaram, 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 Ram Ram, Sitaram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram
Shri
Sitaram.
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai
Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Sitaram, Ram Sitaram, Ram Sitaram, Ram Sitaram, Ram Sitaram, 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 Ram Sitaram, Ram Sitaram, 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 Ram Sitaram,
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's like that
I
samadhi
loved it.
like Krishna. It's the same feeling. You get so lost in it. Hey baby. He's wanting to come chant
Yeah.
too, I guess. Yeah, he loves the chant. See, let's do an Om Namah Shivaya. It's been a minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Or actually, you want to do an Om Namah Shivaya or Shiva Shambhu?
Both are same for me. Shiv, let's do Om Shiv Shambhu.
You want to do the Shiva Shambhu?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. This is by Muji Music. If anyone wants to play this for themselves. What are you doing, baby? Whew. Next.
Shiva Shiva Shambho.
Kundalini.
Shiva Shiva Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Ji Shiva Ji. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jai Shiva. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva Shiva Shiva. Shiva Shiva Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jai Shiva. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva Shiva Shiva
Shiva
Shambho.
Shiva Shambho,
Shiva Shiva
Shiva Shiva
Shambho.
Shiva Shambho,
Mahadeva
Shiva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Shiva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho.
Shiva 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 Shambho.
Shambho,
Shiva Shiva Shiva
Shiva
Shambho.
Shiva Shambho,
Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva Shiva Shiva
Shiva
Shambho.
Shiva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva
Shiva
Shambho,
Shiva 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 Shambho.
Shiva Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho,
Shiva Shiva Shiva
Shiva
Shambho.
Shiva Shiva Shambho,
Shiva Shiva Shiva
Shiva
Shambho.
Shiva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva
Mahadeva Shambho.
Shambho,
Shiva 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 Shambho.
Shiva
Shiva Shiva Shiva
Shiva
Shambho.
Shambho,
Shiva 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 Shambho.
Shiva
Shiva Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho.
Shambho,
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva Shiva Shiva. Shiva Shiva Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho.
Shambho is a gentle form of Shiva. If I remember correctly, if I know correctly, isn't Sham means black, the black one, right? So Shambho would have something to do with being dark. Is that right?
No,
It's a dark form of Shiva.
no. Shambho, it's I don't know what does that mean, but Shiva's color, like Vishnu's color, considered as a sham, black.
Yeah, like a dark black,
Yeah,
or they describe it as a monsoon cloud, like Krishna.
yeah, yeah, monsoon cloud, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, or something like a bluish. But Shiva color, it's considered as a pure white, like snowy white. His color.
So Shiva's snowy white.
Yeah,
It's because of the ash, right? He puts ash on himself because he killed the demon of, or he unalived the demon of lust, and then he opened his third eye, right? I remember that story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
puts ashes on his body because he wants to give a message to the world that the our body is it's mortal, like it gonna die anyway, like somewhere, like it will
Ashes.
die.
Yeah.
So you don't need to focus on your body, just focus on your karma and focus on your soul.
Ashes
That's
to
what his
ashes.
message is.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful, man. Ashes to ashes. We love Shiva. uh,
Oh,
let's see. Okay, we can do that. Let's see. I think Seraphim wanted to join again, and then we're gonna play. I think we should do. Um, hmm. I wish I knew all the lyrics to Bajrang Ban, even though you're only supposed to really sing that during times of like distress where you're really needing the help of Hanuman. But it's a beautiful
yeah.
song, man. It's so beautiful that I just I get into it. Let's see. There's a Hallelujah Chalisa. I really like the Hallelujah Chalisa. We'll do that one. We'll sing the Chalisa last. I think this will be all I'm staying up for tonight because it's already 10 o'clock my time, and but tomorrow I'm free, so I might be I'm off work and stuff, so I might be doing more tomorrow. We might be able to stay on longer and start earlier, maybe even have more than one live. I don't know, but I'm gonna save the one for around 8 o'clock for the Ramayana. We might do some Oracle readings or just hang out with each other, some Q&As or something.
University.
I I
I'm
can
loving this
I can do
thing.
I can do afternoon just for the kirtan.
Okay, that works. That works.
I can do afternoon like maybe half an hour or maybe 1 hour.
All right. I love the kirtans, man. It's so much fun. Let's try to get Seraphim in here. I don't know if he's back or not. Let's see. No, he's not.
Yeah.
We'll share it to
And
him.
I have a request.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never become a moderator, but I don't know if I can be a moderator. Like
Yeah,
my
bro.
friends, whoever comes, I
I don't
can
know
I can give them a mic.
how do I do it? Do I just add
I don't
moderator?
know.
There we go.
Maybe I
I
think
got you, buddy.
I
Okay.
think, but I mean,
Yeah, there you
okay,
go. You're a mod. There you go, my friend. There you are, Parish.
okay, good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right.
sir. Let me see if he's
So
joining
like
real quick.
moderator.
You're about to do another Chalisa. I told him. uh, I love the Chalisa. I probably could never get tired of it. I sing it over and over and over again since I've
Oh
heard it
yeah,
and I learned it, and it's in my heart, man. It plays even when I'm not singing. It plays all the time.
yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Higher education.
All right, he's back. He's coming. He's coming in. We'll wait on him just for a second. Does this light work pretty well for kirtan? Does it look better? I was thinking it's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
it's like entertaining or something.
yeah.
Word. Let's go. We'll get him in here. All right. I need to add Seraphim as a moderator too, 'cause he's good at that. Oh, here he is. Yes, sir. Let's add you as a moderator too, buddy. We got 2 mods now.
Okay.
Hey, friend. Let's see. Oh, he's already. Let's see. I think he's already a moderator. Yeah, he's already a mod. We got 2 mods.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Education includes making it more affordable. That's what.
How are we doing?
Shri Guru Charan Roja Chamana Mukuru Sudhari Varanara Guvara Himala Jasa Jodaya Kupala Chari Udihin Tanu Janike Kumeram Bhavana Kuma Alamunivid, Dehumohi, Arahukale Saviga. Jaya Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar Jaya Kapishati Loka Puja Ramadutta Atulita Baladama Anjani Puja Pavana Sita Mahavira Vikamba Janaki Mati Devara Sumati Kesari Panchanavarana Viraj Subesa Kanana Kunchita Kesa Atubhajora Dvaja Viraja Devu Jajati Sari Shankara Swarna Kesari Eda Pratapa Mahadagavan Yavana Guniyati Chatu Amakaja Karibe Koatu Charitra Sunibe Korasiya Ramaragana Sita Manabasi Sushmaru Padarisiya Hindikava Katuru Padarilam Jara Imarupadari Asura Samhari Ramachandra Gata Samhari Ayasaki Varanganati Ai Viragavira Shivalavai Vatikini Montubarai Mama Vaya Varadai Samavai Sasavara Tumaro Yasaka Sakai Shripati Nandalaga Sakatika Brahma Dimunis Arada Sharada Sardaris Makumbera Digapala Jahante Vikovela Kaya Sake Upakar Sugriva Indira Rama Vilaya Japadati Aromantra Vibhishanama Deshvara Vaisavajagajan Dasarastra Jodhana Parama Yotahi Madhura Palajan Abhumudrikam Nirmamahi Jaladilangi Gaya Charajanahi Durgamakada Jagatake Sugamaragat Maritete Ramduare Tumarakovar Agya Pinupezan Sukalahi Tumari Sharan Arachapagahu Prodharan Apanate Dasamaru Ape Ino Logahangatenkam Uttapisachani Katanai Ave Mahavira Javanam Sunave Asero Gare Samavir Sapanira Nandara Mutavir Sankatate Anumana Chudave Brahma Vachana Jnana Jola Savaparara Matapasvi Raja Nage Kaja Sakala Tumasaja Ora Manora Tujupoelave Soyamita Jivana Palavave Chanduga Paratapa Kumara Eparasya Jagujiya Sadhu Santa Ke Tumara Surani Kandana Ramandulari Ashta-siddhi-nodhi-nikedata Suvarani-ajan-nimata Amarasayana tumare pasa Daro Raghupati-kedasa Hare Bhare Rama Gopale Rama Janama Kedu the Kala Raghuvala Purajai Dharmare Bhakta Kahai Lord Devata Chittamathare Anumata Se Sarva Sukha Kalai Sankata Kate Mite Samapira Yosunere Anumata Valavira Jai Hanuman Gosai Guru Deva Kinai Satabara Bhakta Karapur Jai Bandi Mahasukhoy Joya Bhai Human Chalisa Joya Siddhi Saki Gaurisa Tulasidas Sadari Chera Chera Dharma Vartanaya Sangatahana Mangalamurtiyo Amalakana Sita Sahita Dharma Sarvasuramu Mangalamurti Marutananda Sakala Mangalamura Nikanda Mangalamurti Marutananda Sakala Mangalamura Nikanda Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 I'm sorry, buddy. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Jai Bajrangi Jai Hanuman Sankata Mochana Kripa Nidhan Jai Bajrangi Jai Hanuman Sankata Mochan Kripa Nidhan Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! It's the lotus feet of Lord Ramchandra. So, I'm so grateful, guys, for this platform and the ability to connect with people like my friend Parish here. Parish. Goodness gracious. My pronunciation has been off since I'm trying to learn all the Sanskrit from the Valmiki Ramayana. And people like Seraphim, who I've met through this app, and everything that this app's gotten for me. I'm going to get Mango out real quick because he's... What are you doing in here, Bubba? She's squawking, so I'm pretty sure she wants him. Here, I get to introduce Mango. Mango's a cool guy. You want to say hi, Mangy? Oh, you say, oh, goodness. Didn't mean for you to go upside down, Bubby. This is Mango.
He's a really cool parakeet. Give me kisses. He'll lean in for it. He's so sweet. He knows to put his beak right on your nose. Sweet little Burby. Say hi. Say hi.
Hey, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram.
Sitaram,
He don't even know what to do about it. He's looking right at me. Sita Ram. Sita Ram. The little baby. My little baby.
The parrots used to say Sitaram, Sitaram
Sita
in
Ram.
India.
Sita Ram. I wish I could get him to talk. He doesn't say any English. He just speaks birdie. Say go. You wanna do it for him? Oh, that one time. Silly boy. He sneezed at me. He's like, "You're mocking me." Let's see. Don't fly away. You're okay. Good boy. Good boy. Go in there with Lila. Oh, you don't want to? You want to stay out with us? Here, you can stay. You can get on my shoulder for a minute. Yeah. Good boy. All right. You're lonely now, huh, little guy? Man, Lord have mercy. I appreciate you guys so much, man. This platform has been a blessing. I think I just this bhakti, this ability to serve you guys with showing you, like people who have never heard the Ramayana are getting to be introduced to Ram, Hanuman, Lakshman, Sita, the whole story. I think this was a good idea. This was a really good decision, Seraphim. I had talked to him weeks ago thinking this was a good idea to do, and I'm so happy that I did and decided to finally do it because, we had like 9 viewers on here earlier. I got 5,000 likes on this live. There's a lot of people tuning in and getting these blessings, man. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. Everything that comes through this live is God, guys. I'm not an enlightened being. I'm not a guru as far as maybe there's a guru within me somewhere that is the light of consciousness, but that same guru is within you, And the only reason I know that is because I sat with my guru. But as far as my material body, I still go through karma, man. I still have my own karma. I still have my own stuff to go through. But I'm happy to be able to share this with you in spite of all that, because this is what helps clear that. This bhakti is like, it's prayer. It's prayer to read the Ramayana. It's prayer to sing. It's prayer to sit in front of the murti. It's prayer to even breathe, because you say the name of God every time you breathe, no matter what culture you're from, whether it's or it's all our breath, man. It is God to us. And in fact, Hanuman is known as the breath of Ram. He's known as the breath of God. He's so close to God that he's the breath of God. There you go. Yeah, see, he knows and he's telling you. There he goes, flying around. He does that randomly. He just gets a conniption fit, and I got to get him before the cat does. Here, baby boy. Come on. You're okay. Let me put you back in the cage. Why are you having a freak out? They're so tiny. I think they're so high-strung. Baby. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. You're a safe little boy. You're a safe little boy. All right. Let's see. Love you guys so much. Love you guys so much. I will catch you tomorrow or the next time that you see me, whether that's in a video or if we go live tomorrow earlier. I'll catch you guys then. This has been beautiful tonight. This has probably been one of my favorite nights readings. It's been very rewarding, indeed. Very rewarding.
Listening for us.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. I'm so happy I found you, like Parish.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, good.
I'm good. Okay, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. He was hungry. That's what it was. That was his attitude. He was hungry. Love you guys so much. I'll catch you next time. Peace and love. I hope you have the best night and rising. I hope that you're very rewarded with this and that you can carry on into your day tomorrow. The idea that everyone you meet is God in drag, and to love and serve everyone as a sadhana, as if they are God in drag. We're not perfect, but that's every time we fall down, pick yourself back up. That's what a sadhana is. You know what I mean? And love everybody as if they're God in drag. Absolutely. Ashe, y'all. Peace and love. You guys have an amazing night. a great sleep, and I'll see you in the rising or next rising. Absolutely. Peace
Yeah.
and love, guys.